When images of God switch to psychedelic visions, then angels over demons flip inside this hell you live in. With its broken charity, tell me, what has the seller given? And could we ever come together if there never was division? Listen, it was 40 days of darkness. I'm humble down in my solitude. But you're gunning like you're heartless. No wonder I never follow you. I'm running till my harvest is done, and I'm gonna follow through. Won't stumble till the sun is torn asunder from my molecules. But where's the truth in that? You don't ask. Rather get facts from that pastor. Crooks. I have to speak to the masters, but you just laugh and say pass the books. But these words just can't capture this magic. It's tragic. Look at the earth's last reaction. What's left after what that disaster took? This post book of Revelation, life like our hell's just waiting to watch heaven on earth turn to devastation while we all burn under the spell of Satan. But for the soul there could be no isolation, so I stay deep in meditation, sending energetic invitations to alien immigrations, begging them to come and save me, praying when I tell them, take me. Because here, the rich and the poor, they have earned no difference. They're all empty in that space where we yearn for our deliverance. So we try and we strive to arrive in that place where their wishes are tempting. Then we cry and despise all the lies that we face, because that victory's empty. I will not cling any longer to these ashes they've given us. I give myself to the Father, that his Spirit may live in us. Hey everyone, it's Benjamin Zaemisch, founder of Move, Learn, Create, and the creator of The Manic Serenity, and I'm so happy to have you back with me. I hope you enjoyed chapter 3 of the full moon sessions here. Quarantine, what was that? Where did it come from? Why was it called quarantine? Allow me to give you some context. So I got to go back to January, February 2020. This year, I was living alone. I was alone all the time, doing intense sadhana, intense practices, like 6 to 8 hours a day of classical hatha and kriya yoga, just really cranking up my system, accessing these phenomenal states of experience. And I was totally removed from anything going on in the world. I had no television, no Facebook, no couch, nothing. I still don't have any of those things, actually, but I was just in my own world, just in my spirit. I remember telling someone that I believe I said, I have forgotten what it's like to have a day go by where the skin on my face is not washed by tears of ecstasy. And that really says it. I mean, that really was my experience. It really was that intense. It was that beautiful, and it was so crystallized. It was so clear, and so pure, without any of the nonsense, and distractions going on in the world. And so then we all know what happened next. I mean, March rolls around, and even without my connections to the outside world, still anytime I would leave my house for any reason, at work, anything going on, I would pick up on all the things happening from other people. And the real moment of truth for me, the moment that captured the immensity of what it was that was going on in the world for me, came sometime in March, right at the beginning of quarantine. I remember it was like the middle of the week, and I needed a couple things from the grocery store, so we ran over and to get like a couple vegetables, and it was just total and complete mayhem, like nothing I'd ever seen. It was unbelievable, totally surreal. Late at night, cars lined up down the street. It was nuts. And then about a week later or less, I went back to that same grocery store, and the initial kind of frenzy had subsided. And in place of that, this thing that hit me the second that I walked into the store was this unbelievable cloud of fragility. I was going to say cloud of the unknown, but really the feeling was fragility from everyone. And the cause of that was the unknown. And what is it that we have to take away from that experience? What was the lesson that was available to us to learn throughout some kind of a crisis through this kind of a process. And for me, it was just so glaringly obvious. It was so clear that we were being forced to look at the great unknown, at all of the space within ourselves that we never look at, this whole domain of the human experience where we do not direct our attention. We're so distracted and so busy and so good, getting so good at building these name brand facades of distraction that we so jealously call as our lives, and that we are willing to sacrifice almost the entirety of our time here to construct these things. And then a moment like this comes by and we see that it does not serve us. We see that we are not free. And how can this be? How can we allow ourselves to exist this way when we know that there is a truth that will set us free? We preach it to each other throughout our lives from so many pulpits. But anything that is unknown, we are unable to look in that direction. And ultimately, it's all leading to that great unknown, the ultimate unknown, that one and only thing that each of us know is going to be in our life, our death. We can't look at any unknown because we're unwilling. We have made it a taboo of this one great unknown that is actually the only thing that belongs to us, the only thing that can never be taken away, the only thing in your life that cannot be taken from you is your death. But we're unable to look at it, even though it's the most real thing that we have in our experience. And how is this? How are we able to allow ourselves to exist this way? Well, because in order to find the truth, that truth that will set you free, we are not free. We know in our spirits that we have not found liberation. So then we must know that we have not found the truth. And the reason for that is because to find the truth, you first have to admit that you don't know it. And we will not admit that we don't know. We will not relinquish these beliefs that we tell ourselves will stand by us, even though in a moment of crisis we see that they do not. They are insubstantial. We have not done the work. We have not traveled along the journey to turn those words, those claims, those things we call as beliefs. We haven't done what it takes to turn that into real, tangible substance, to bring it and make it a living reality, to make it faith, the substance of things not seen. We're not willing to do that because we're not willing to admit that we don't know. And why? Why is it? How is it that we've somehow all together come to this agreement that we're going to live this way, that we're going to tolerate this socially acceptable slavery and suffer ourselves to endure this bondage? Why would we live that way? And it's because we're afraid. We're all afraid. We're scared of this perceived potential for painful process, even though we know it would lead to our progress. We're not willing to do the work to cultivate the necessary clarity. We're not willing to develop the right kind of perspective, to equip ourselves with the tools for transformation that would lead us to our freedom, that would empower us to meet these struggles, to meet these perceived obstacles on our own terms, to align ourselves with life and embrace what it is that life is so desperately trying to offer us. And if we do that, when you do that, you're going to see things as they truly are. You're going to see the truth about all of those obstacles that will indeed set you free. And that truth is simply that these challenges in front of you, these are the blessings that are here to give you the strength to carry your dreams. You will see that all of those times where you felt like you were suffocating and suffering, your spirit was dancing in diamonds. You thought you were drowning, as you fought against the very wave that was trying to carry you to the shores of your deliverance, trying to carry you home. And once you arrive there, once you're in that place, you will be able to stand up as I am now and say that the power that has granted freedom to my spirit is but a drop in the mighty river filled with the soul of humanity. And its currents have compelled me now to step forward and to sing these songs of that magnificent ocean filled with our liberation. I am not here. I'm not here because I'm different than you. I am here only because I now know that we are the same. I'm so thankful for you joining me on this journey. I'm so thankful for you allowing me to express these elements of my experience, to try to connect with people and kind of give them these offerings on the level that I know we're all seeking. We're all seeking to find some kind of tangible connection with those depths of ourselves that are so hard to reach in the world now, the way that it goes. And I'm sure it always has been this way. And I'm thankful for all the feedback I've gotten from you guys for what I've already done. And those of you who are going through the Momentum Masterclass, thank you so much for all the incredible feedback. If you haven't yet done that, if you haven't gone down in the description and clicked the link to download the free Momentum Masterclass, please do that. It's practical, step-by-step approach to help build up this momentum, cultivate your interiority and your awareness and your perspective, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what it is that you're doing, to begin to align those things so that they carry you in one direction only, unwaveringly, and that is towards the expression of your true potential, towards the embracing of what it is that this life is actually trying to offer you. So please go over and do that. Also, www.themanicserenity.com. There's more resources there that I've made available, and I'm working on more. So please get over there and get started, and I will see you next time.